Oh, hello, all my wonderful broskies of the Maverick Nation, and welcome to part 2 of What If BakuDeku. Yes, I will be doing part 2 of the newer What Ifs before I get back on to doing the series. And right now, my eye is on BakuDeku. The BakuDeku What If. Hmm. This is very interesting because Izuku still has full cowling, and the whole one for all, and Bakugo now has like this infatuation because remember, Izuku in this is a girl because of a certain villain's quirk. So yeah, this is basically on the time in which the quirk assessment takes place, everyone would have basically the same score as in the original. But what I am going to say is the one exception, Bakugo and Izuku, they basically tie for like infinity. As basically that's like the one exception. And Shoto's like, damn it, again? And Aizawa was just like, damn. Wait, what are you two doing? And Baku would be like, and Izuku would just be like, and Aizawa was like, were you two about to smooch on the school premises? like on school, grounds? And Bakugo was like, no way. And Izuku's just like, no, not at all. Boys are icky. Nah. And Bakugo was like, yeah, girls are icky. Nah. And so, yeah. Aizawa was not believing that for 1 second, because he heard the Bakugo talk about how Izuku is his, and, how, already taken, and, how he called Mineta a cockroach several times over. So, yeah, he does not believe that for 1 second. He totally knows that they were about to smooch. Like, good job, smooch. It was going to be a good job, smooch. Is it it's not even a lie. That's actually what it was going to be. A good job, smooch. And Aizawa was like, fine, damn it. I'll allow it, but only because I'm interested. And, Izuku's just like, he's probably only gonna allow it so that he can freaking like Facebook it to every freaking person in Class 1A. And like Bakugo's like, yeah, I heard even All Might knows. And Izuku's like, wait, even All Might knows? Just yells it. And Bakugo would be like, oh my god. Just like so much facepalm, so much cringe. And well, basically at the end of the school day, after all of that, they would have heroes versus villains. The next thing. Basically, All Might would just freaking, like, he would run in, but a little thing is, he would have a little box. And basically, the box would be like freaking roses, and he's like, "This is for the couple. I heard that there was a couple from Aizawa." And Aizawa was like, "Dude, why did you rat me out?" And basically, Izuku is like looking, just like staring at them, is just like, and Bakugo is just like, "Oh my god." Even All Might knows. But both Bakugo and Izuku accept the roses. And All Might isn't too surprised about Izuku being different from the last time he saw him. Because, yeah, he remembers, yeah, part one, the villain explained how the whole quirk worked. So Izuku's a girl now. And, her and Bakugo have been on a relationship. Like, freaking All Might knew that, a girl, like Izuku was a girl and that there was a relationship involved, but he had no idea it was Bakugo. He was just like, wait, what? I don't think I paid attention to that part of your little text, Aizawa. And Aizawa was like, oh wait, I think I forgot to type that part in. And basically, All Might is now looking at Aizawa with like killer intent. You're just like, you what? Well, anyways, today is like heroes versus villains training. The villains, there's gonna be like a team of two villains, a team of two heroes. The villains get to go in first and plant the bomb, and all the other rules are basically said. And this is actually going to go in canon. It's going to be Bakugo and Ida as the villains versus Izuku and Ochanko as the heroes. And Izuku feels extremely weird around Ochako for all sorts of reasons. And even whenever Ochako tries to speak to Izuku, it's just like, just use your freaking gravity to like mess with the guy and get to the bomb. Just, yeah, do that. While never mind, just do that. And Ochako is just like, doesn't even get like a word in before it's just like shooed away by Izuku. And Izuku is just thinking in her head, why do we have to fight each other? Bakugo is just thinking in his head as he's like running towards. And all of a sudden, you just like, he just jets himself up into like the middle of the air with explosions. And Izuku is like panicking, like, what the shit? And then, like, he just, like, like, tackle hug. But, like, none of the people that are, like, watching can really see what they're actually doing. And basically, while they have this time, while everything is, like, camouflaged, and, they can't really see either of them, Bakugo is like, Izuku, I know we're on opposite sides, but I'm willing to provide a diversion for your team to win. And Izuku is just like, what? What do you mean? And Bakugo's just like, just just pretend we hate each other, okay? Or like we sort of do. The only way it's going to be any bit convincing. Like try to follow me, like follow like what I would do. Like kind of like how like certain dancers like they follow the lead of the other dancer. Like this fight is like a dance. I guess you could say that. Yeah, this fight will be like a dance. And Izuku is just like a lot more comfortable now. A fight that's like a dance. Yes. And whoever is able to finish the dance first will be the one who is the winner out of the two. And Katron is basically just like, they're basically just communicating to each other how exactly it's going to go. And so their fight is kind of like a dance, because of how it just seems to move back and forth in just like such subtle motion. Like no one would actually be able to tell that they were like kind of choreographing it. Like self-choreographiation. And basically, Izuku's like, well, I think Bakugo might be going for a tango. And he's just like, ooh, a tango kind of guy. And Bakugo's just like, so, Izuku isn't completely dumb. They're able to tell what I'm going for. And basically, at the end of the day, Bakugo just hears, the heroes are the winners. And, like, Bakugo's like, what? Like, Ida lost? And Izuku's like, wow, Chaco, you aren't completely useless. And whenever Ochako hears this, she's just like, what? She's just like, what? You thought I was gonna be useless? Then why were you staying down here? And, Izuku is just like, shh. Can you keep a secret, Ochako? And Ochako's like, what kind of secret? And Izuku is just like, me and Bakugo were kind of choreographing our fight into like a dance. I don't think anyone noticed though. And Otako's just like, she just like faints. It's just like, now they're dance fighting? Oh, I am so totally screwed. Like, Ochako is just like, she didn't think could get any worse. She didn't think it could get any worse. But now they're like dance fighting? That's how good they are with each other? Like, shit. And like All Might's like trying to check up on Izuku and Bakugo. And Bakugo's just like, don't worry, we're completely fine. Right, Izuku? And Izuku's just like, yep, completely fine. And All Might's kind of confused because he saw that and he thought it was pretty freaking ferocious, but also like kind of cute. The way they were just kind of making it look like they were also kind of dancing as well. So yeah, Izuku and Bakugo kind of got to have their little first dance, but they also kind of made it like a fight. So technically, like true dance, it wasn't really like a true dance, but if you're just talking like dance in general, like unless you're talking like legit dance, if you're talking legit dance, it wasn't really the first dance. But if you're just talking like whatever type of dance, I guess it could be considered their first dance. And Izuku's just like, is it really our first dance? And Bakugo's like, it could be whatever we want it to be, Izuku. And, Izuku just comes over to Bakugo's house and just like tap, tap, tap on the window. And Bakugo lets her in. And it's just like, so how did you like the dance of explosions, as I like to call it? And Izuku's like, dance of explosions, I would have never thought of that one. But didn't really seem like it was an actual dance. Still seemed like we were fighting each other. And Bakugo's like, so what are you really thinking? And Izuku's like, well, you must have some sort of formal wear. And like Izuku's like, you must have some sort of formal wear. And Bakugo's just like, what are you trying to do? Izuku, what are you doing? And Izuku's just like, well, seeing as we didn't just hug, we also kissed, and, well, I've been thinking some things over. And Izuku's just like, maybe after. Wait a second. Ah, yes, perfect. And just throws Izuku is just like in Bakugo's like bathroom and just throws something at him, and he's just like, this is like a freaking tux. What the frick do you think we're going to be doing? And she's just like, put it on, damn you! Like, put it on, damn you! And Bakugo is just like, fine. And he just realizes whenever he looks in the mirror, he looks pretty damn good in a tux. Then all of a sudden, a freaking fedora hat, like a black fedora hat, like my black fedora hat. And it's just like, just throws it into his hands, like Izuku just throws it into his hands, and he's like, black fedora. And he just puts it on, and it's just like, damn, I look good in a fedora too. Fedora and a tux. Wow. Who am I trying to impress here? And Izuku's just like, well, who do you think? And, well, if I were to say that Izuku's dress kind of suits our personality, that would kind of be understating it. It's just like this, like, freaking white dress with, like, emerald green gems sewn into it. And, it's just perfect, a perfect fit. It's not too big, not too small, and, you know, it's just, it's got those emerald green gems sewn into it. And, Bakugo's like, you love. And Izuku's like, hey, Bakugo, are you alright? I love Bakugo, Earth to Bakugo. Kyatsuki Bakugo. And basically, like, Bakugo just hears someone yell, Tiatsuki Bakugo! And basically, it's just like, he hears his mom yell this, and she's just like, the hell are you doing in a tux and a freaking fedora? Without a freaking tie. And it's just this red velvet tie that, Bakugo. Actually, no, I want to make it like an old timey, like, black tie. I think, that would suit the formal approach more. And she just puts it on him, and he's just like, Mom, how long have you known about this? How long have you known about me and Izuku? And Mitsuki, which is the name of Bakugo's mother, Mitsuki's just like, oh well, and then all of a sudden, like, Enko comes up, and she's just like, and you, my dear, you might need this to cap it all off. And, there's just, like, this freaking silver, like, white silver freaking tiara with, like, also emerald gems, like, in it, like, engraved into it. And, it was just put on freaking Izuku's head. And basically, Izuku's like, so Bakugo, how do I look? Anyways, thanks, Mom. Bakugo, how do I look? And Bakugo's just like, you're, you're, I, I can't even, Mom, can we please have some privacy? And basically, Mitsuki's like, fine. And basically, she just secretly whispers to Inko, we're going to watch them. We're not going to let them know, but we are going to watch them. And Inko, like, shows a little camera. And we're going to put it on tape, too. And so basically, like, Izuku knows where they're supposed to go to, so she's just walking Bakugo over, just like, Bakugo's like, what the hell are we going? Oh, it would be a nice place to be. And Bakugo just sees this gazebo. It's like, well, how much money did it take you to get this? And Izuku's just like, really, did you never know it was here? And Bakugo's just like, wait, this was here in the first place? He's just like, he never checked this area near his house. He was just like, wait, this was ever here at all? He's not that much of an outdoors person. And Izuku's just like, I think maybe this here is where we could have our first dance. And whenever Mitsuki hears this, it's just like, she's just like, my little boy is going to have his first dance? And, Inko is like, it's such a precious moment. Such a precious moment. And, they just like, it's just like the perfect dance, like Beauty and the Beast. Like, they just have this slow dance. It's like a calm waltz. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm kind of getting this idea from Bride of Discord, Disney fanatic, a really cool person. She's a really cool person. Anyways, Bakugo's like, your eyes, Izuku. And Izuku's like, yeah, what about them? They twinkle so beautifully in the light. And Mitsuki's like, I can't believe my son actually just said that to somebody. And Inko's just like, wait, what are they doing? And basically, like, Izuku and Bakugo just go in really close. And it's just automatically, boom, it just hits. Lock of the lips. And you just gotta savor that moment. So, like, there's a pic, like, several pics taken. Like, Inko and Mitsuki can barely hold their cameras. Like, yeah, Inko brought a spare one for Mitsuki. Because she kind of accidentally left her camera at, her house. Like, Mitsuki accidentally left her camera at Inko's house. So, basically brought that one over for her to take pictures with. And they can just see just the romantic scene. And basically, Izuku's just like, so, well, I guess you could indeed call that a first ever. And then Bakugo's just like, shh, savor it. I don't think we're gonna have a lot more moments like this. Being in a hero school, you never know what to expect. And it's just like, in the background, foreshadowing. And Inko and Mitsuki are like, what the hell? The hell was that? It was me breaking the fourth wall. It was me breaking the fourth wall. Anyways, Bakugo's like, so the days that we do have, the nights that we do have, they should be treated as what they are, precious. Just as precious as you. But, but, my little Deku, nothing is as precious as you. And Mitsuki is like, did my son just say that? And Izuku's kind of blown back too. It was just like, what the? And like, like Bakugo is kind of becoming a little bit of a romancer here. He's just like, your eyes, they twinkle in the light. Your hair, the moonlight shimmers off of it. And your entire being in such a beautiful dress you should be wearing, even the tiara. Such things. It would only be fair to have you in them. They're the only things that could ever dare to match your beauty. My little Izuku. My little Deku. You see, Ochako is right.
I don't like it whenever we end conversations like that.
That I'm recording.
Okay? I don't care. I love you. Okay?
Yeah, me and my dad had a conversation, and apparently he didn't like ending it like that. So, yeah.
Anyway,
Not really like I wanted to enter my personal life into this what if.
you could have started it over.
Love you too. Anyways, my little Deku. What did Ochako call it? The Kyu. You can do anything. You don't need to be a Dekyu to be able to do anything. Because you proved it. You proved it whenever you did the one thing I thought no one could ever do or would ever be able to do. And so did my mother and my father. You did the one thing. You stole my heart. You truly have stolen my heart. And I would never ask for it back, seeing as you're such a fitting person to have it. And Izuku just replies with, ditto. And Bakugo just knows. Now or never, buddy. Now or freaking never. And just embrace. Just gotta love that embrace. And after that, it ends. Like, they get back in their normal clothes, and basically, they don't really act like the night never happened, but basically Izuku's like, what was that? Felt like it was like under some sort of magic spell. And Bakugo's like, I guess that's exactly what I would call it then. Magic. Seems you put me under a spell. I don't think I would ever be that nice to anybody. And, without Mitsuki and, you know, Inko there to have like cameras on them, they just hug and, kiss again. And they're just like Izuku just brings up, so, pretty young to be a parent, so, and, Bakugo just holds up like two freaking you know whats. I mean, it's 18 plus for a reason, guys. And so, they do indeed do the you-know-what. And it is very, very, oh, so personal. Like, it gets really freaking personal. And it gets to the point to where whenever Izuku wakes up for like the next day of school, it's just like Izuku wakes up in Bakugo's bed. And Bakugo is like halfway into the floor, halfway on his bed, and just conked out. And Izuku's like, oh, what time does it say on the what, 7 o'clock? Bakugo! Freaking, just like freaking starts shaking him. And like Bakugo's like, what the what? And Izuku just points to the clock, and Bakugo's like, holy shit! Shit, shit, shit! And they get dressed, and they basically both go downstairs to the kitchen. And to their surprise, both of like their freaking mothers and Bakugo's father are there. Like Enko is there, like Izuku's mother, and Izuku is just like, what? Uh, Never mind. Anyways, we should probably get ready for school. So yeah, that's that. That's that. And so whenever they do get to class, Aizawa explains the whole thing about, going to the USJ, and then the one person says, I believe it was Kirishima, like Universal Studios Japan, and both Izuku and freaking Bakugo just laugh their asses off. And so you basically, like, Aizawa was just like, no, we're going to. Phew! Jesus Christ! There's a freaking earthquake in my nose. We're going to the. Jesus, like freaking nose earthquakes, not sneezes, like they're freaking nose earthquakes, is what I gotta call them. Basically, the something simulated joint. The unforeseen simulation joint. That's what USJ stands for. We're going to USJ, unforeseen simulation joint. And then there's the Hero 13, basically explains everything. And then all of a sudden, it's like, look, they're fake villains. And I was always just like, no, these are real villains. And he just jumps down and goes in like a freaking badass. But, you know, shit gets freaking whack whenever, Izuku starts to go in too, but Bakugo really doesn't want Izuku to go in for like the major kill because, having a night like that, a night of passion, you wouldn't want your unsung lover to get hurt. You wouldn't want that. Because I have an ex-girlfriend and I still want to make sure that, well, not really, I can't really make sure, but I'm still wanting to make, like, I would want to make sure that she was okay, but, like, she's my ex. Yeah, I bet you guys didn't know I had an ex-girlfriend. So basically, Izuku just goes in there, just goes full cowling, and starts to beat on the Nomu, but it doesn't really do anything, and she just gets flicked. And whenever Bakugo sees this, he's just like extremely pissed and wants to attack the Nomu. But the next thing he sees, before he can turn his attention to the Nomu, is all of a sudden basically someone saying, "Oh, well, you look like very nice, defenseless prey." And then all of a sudden, someone right in front of Izuku, and Izuku's still like shell shocked from that like flick that the Nomu gave her. And all of a sudden, she sees someone over top of her. "You seem very interesting. Maybe you could be a nice choice." And Izuku doesn't really know what he means, but already she's assuming the worst. And Shigaraki, he holds his hand out, and like Bakugo's assuming the freaking worst. And so basically, All Might does his whole thing where he comes through the freaking ceiling and just smashes the shit out of the Nomu. And Bakugo just goes in and like basically freaking like shooting several explosions at Shigaraki. And these explosions aren't like his normal explosions. Bakugo's explosions that he's shooting off now, he's like fighting like not like his usual self, because usually he has some sort of tact. But with this, he's just exploding shit left and right. Basically, like Izuku's like, he's lost his mind. And Bakugo just shoots himself like right in front of Shigaraki. And right before he's able to like land anything, Shigaraki just like poof, because like Kirigiri warped them all. And the villains he didn't warp, they got arrested. And like basically Bakugo landed on his face. Or at least he would have landed on his face, but it felt like something like caught him. And someone did. Someone did catch him. Izuku. Izuku went to his aid before he could fall, really. Before he could fall to the ground. Izuku went, took the risk, and picked him up. Like, she was slightly damaged by the decay quirk, but that's the thing. Bakugo is now mad pissed at Shigaraki. Like, now, he's like public enemy number 1 for Bakugo. It's like, on Bakugo's shit list. Like, he is pissed at the dude. Because you don't touch a man's woman. That has to be understood, guys. You don't touch a man's woman. You don't put your hands on a man's woman. And at this point, Izuku has basically become Bakugo's woman. And Shigaraki did the unsung rule. You don't touch a man's woman. He touched a man's woman. He touched Bakugo's woman. And was about to do some serious freaking shady shit. I don't know what he was going to do, if he was going to decay her. Like, Bakugo doesn't really know if he was going to decay her, or if he was going to, like, try to take her away. He sure as hell wasn't going to have that. So even if he had to, like, howitzer impact the entire freaking area, he was not going to let that happen. He wasn't going to let it fly. Not on his radar. And he's just pissed. But whenever he realizes he's in Izuku's arms, he's just like, "Izuku, you're hurt." And Izuku's just like, "What about you? You could have got seriously injured." And they're basically just kind of like arguing with each other about like one of them could have been like seriously like damaged, like mortally wounded, because like Shigaraki was only able to decay like a little bit of the skin away. Like, Izuku is like mostly fine. Finds that there's like a certain like third effect of Heartbreaker's quirk that apparently, whenever it mixed with One for All, it's almost like like, whenever, like, Bakugo's love, like, whenever they touched each other, like, the love started to heal the wounds, like, started to heal what was being decayed, like, back into existence. So yeah, basically now there's a freaking third power to where, like, the love that they have, the love that they share, can freaking heal Izuku if, like, ever, like, a massive or even a minor injury. And Bakugo's really happy about that. He's just not all that happy about how he really, like, how Izuku obtained that power. You know, it was like a life-threatening situation in which Izuku obtained that power. To basically, like, healing factor through love. I know that's, like, cheesy and corny as all hell, but hey, freaking, like, this is BakuDeku, what do you expect? You know, basically, after everything, you know, is settled, basically, like the Nomu's even gone, which Bakugo was really pissed that he didn't get to do, even more pissed that he didn't get to freaking kick the shit out of Shigaraki. Like I said, number one on Bakugo's freaking shit list now for, you know, messing with a man's woman, touching a man's freaking woman. Especially with that murderous ass intent that he had in his eyes. You know, Izuku thought he was either gonna murder her or try to make her one of them. Which Bakugo was just like, ain't gonna happen, bro. Ain't gonna happen. Dude, you ain't even my bro. You try to touch my woman, I will kick your ass. But Bakugo did not get to do that. The villains were just a little bit too slick for their liking. But, yeah. At least, you know, they got to they got to have the good moments while they lasted. And, you know, whenever they finally got to Izuku's house, because Bakugo decided to go to Izuku's house, or I don't know how it happened before, but the other person got to go to the other person's house, and basically, you know, now, again, it's a freaking, like, you know, just, they're in love, let them have their love. And, you know, Bakugo is really worried, so of course he's gonna want to protect his love. He's basically gonna be like, either you stay over here with me, or have me stay over at your house to make sure you don't get hurt. And, you know, Izuku was like, it's understandable. I mean, I did almost die, so it's understandable. And, you know, Bakugo he would be like that because he almost lost his woman. So he would make sure that he would never lose his woman again. Or even get close, you know? So I think this is a good point to where I should stop because it's like 44 freaking minutes. So, yeah. Alonzi and Adausis because the Dark Shadow Maverick is out. Yeah, boys.